beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. This video is long overdue. So as you can tell by the title, this video is going to be about my experience in Cuba. But before we get into all the details, go ahead and click the subscribe button, like and comment if you like the video. And yeah, let's get into it. If you're planning a trip to Cuba, not only do you need your passport, obviously, but you will need a visa. So I went on this trip with my friends, 3 of my friends and my mom for my mom's birthday. My friends celebrated her birthday, whatever. So yeah, you need a visa to travel there. Well, my friend did some research online, and she found out that you can purchase it online for $50 rather than buying it at the airport. So she went ahead and did it, and she sent it to our group chat, but nobody else in the group chat did it. And it ended up being a good thing because we got to the airport, and it might seem a little sketchy because it's like you want to make sure you have everything prior to like checking in, and the fact that you don't have the visa like before you are about to get on the flight, it's kind of like, I understood why she did it, because like every time I'm flying, every time I'm going somewhere new, it's like, you know, you have a checklist and you're like, oh, did I forget this, did I forget that? So the fact that you have to wait until like literally the very last minute before you get on the plane to get your visa, you kind of like already want to have it and just out the way. So she went ahead and purchased hers online on like this official website. We get to the airport, and we flew Southwest. We get to the airport and we checked in. We got to our gate, and they told us that's where you'll buy your visa. You just pay with card or cash the $50. They give you your visa, you'll be all good. So we're like, okay, cool. My friend already had hers. It was just me, my mom, and my 2 other friends. So we get there, and they couldn't find her, visa in the system. And so she showed them the website she bought it from. She showed them like the confirmation and everything, and they said that that was their website. And basically what ended up happening is she had to buy another one. So I advise you just wait until you get to the airport to buy your visa. All right, so as far as the Cuban currency, it's called CUC. So the only place that we were told that we can exchange our US dollars for CUC was at Fort Lauderdale airport. So that's what we did, and I read online that it would be easier to convert my US dollars to euros and then euros to CUC, but we didn't end up doing that. I think we ended up taking, I want to say, well, me personally, I think I took about 500 US dollars and got it converted to CUC, and I didn't run out of money. I want to say I came back with money. So yeah, just make sure you exchange your currency at Fort Lauderdale Airport. So, okay, cool. We get to Cuba, and everything is going to be lovely and great, and we get off the plane, and it is raining. Like, the streets were literally flooding. It was crazy, but I guess that's normal for them, like the flooding, because everybody just acted like it was normal. And it wasn't really like super bad flooding, but I wouldn't have been driving in it, and the taxis had no problem. You can only use your phone with Wi-Fi, which, okay, cool, no problem. But the Wi-Fi works a little different in Cuba rather than like here in America or anywhere else in the world. You know, you connect to Wi-Fi anywhere in the world and you're good. But it doesn't quite work that way in Cuba. So what happens is you have to purchase Wi-Fi cards. So if you're a person that likes to be, when you're traveling, you like to be on your phone a lot, taking a lot of pictures, uploading it to Instagram or Snapchat or whatever social media platform, or just sending it pictures back home or whatever, FaceTime, and letting people see, Cuba ain't for you, honey, because you need Wi-Fi cards. And okay, cool, how much do Wi-Fi cards cost? Like, no big deal. They're $1. So $1 will get you 1 hour Wi-Fi. So what happens is you have to be in an area that has like Wi-Fi, first of all. And obviously in our apartment we had Wi-Fi. I'm sure that if you get a hotel, you'll have Wi-Fi. So in your room, you can use Wi-Fi. But like if you're just in the car, like driving around, and you think you can just connect to like Wi-Fi, or like a taxi, obviously. But if you're like at a restaurant, you think you can just connect to Wi-Fi. Some of them you can, but some of them you can't. Like you gotta understand that Cuba is still a developing country. Like they are not as advanced as us, obviously. So there were like certain areas in Cuba, like in the town, that like crowds of people would be sitting in, because those are like the Wi-Fi spots, and you can just sit there with your Wi-Fi card and use your hour, and you can post away or whatever. But it's still not like Wi-Fi in America, so it's not as fast. It gets the job done if you're just trying to post something. But yeah, just know that it won't be like high speed. And then you can just buy the Wi-Fi cards. They have like these little shops, like cell phone shops that sell them. I will post a picture of the name of it. But yeah, you can just buy your Wi-Fi card from there. They have, the place I went only had $1 for 1 hour, or $5 for 5-hour ones. So yeah, you can buy those Wi-Fi cards. The good thing about the Wi-Fi card though is, like for the 5-hour one, for example, when we would get back to the room at night, or the apartment at night, we would just use one of the 5-hour ones, and everybody could connect to that one 5-hour one, rather than everybody buy their own 5-hour one. It let us all connect to that one, and you got Wi-Fi. But I will say that if you and 5 other people are on this one Wi-Fi card, it slows the Wi-Fi down. So if you want like faster, better internet, for us it worked better if everybody just had their own $1 card. Listen, there is no bottled water in Cuba. How? Mind blowing. There's no bottled water in Cuba. Period. No bottled water. I don't understand it. I did my research because I like traveling, I like planning, I like knowing everything that I'm gonna need before I get to a country. My friends, they don't even listen. I sent them videos like to watch for things that you need to know about Cuba, and 2 of them, they just didn't watch it. They just didn't care. And then they get there, they didn't know that you couldn't flush tissue. Like, they don't listen. Anyway, so I texted them, I was like, bring snacks, bring bottled water. We went to convenience stores, we went to like restaurants, we went everywhere looking for bottled water, because I wasn't gonna give all of my bottled water away because you didn't listen to me. So we went to go look for bottled water. We couldn't find any for the first 3 days, or like until the night of the 3rd day. We were only there for 4 days. So we bought all the water that they had at this one place that we found, and yeah, it wasn't so bad for that last day in Cuba. But yeah, just make sure you pack your bottled water. And it doesn't have to be like a whole lot, but if you're going and it's hot there and you can't find bottled water, it's gonna be bad, unless you want to drink like soda or like alcohol. Bring your bottled water, BYOBW. Bring your own bottled water. When you're researching like things to do in Cuba, or like just travel information about Cuba, one of the first things that come up, well for me at least when I was researching, was that you can't like flush toilet tissue. And it just sounds so crazy, because like what do you do with it? Like what? It's just, you can't flush toilet tissue. And after going to Cuba, I've been to other countries that you aren't supposed to flush toilet tissue either, but Cuba was the first for me, and it was just really, I found this out after I had already started to book my flight, and I was like, you know what? I don't even want to go. Like, if nobody in Cuba flushes toilet tissue, just imagine what a public restroom is gonna be like in Cuba. Like, what it's gonna smell like. I was just so disgusted that I didn't want to go anymore. Like, I just felt like it was gonna be like stinky, like to be honest. So you can't flush anything that is not liquid down the toilet. Like, you can't, if like it's that time of the month, you cannot flush your sanitary like napkin, like tampons. You can't flush them down the toilet, and that is just as disgusting as it sounds. So what I suggest, there's like literally signs all over like every bathroom you go to. Personally, fortunately, I didn't use any public restrooms. I didn't even go in one at all. Like, I only use the restroom at the apartment, and that's just because of who I am as a person. What I suggest you do if you're planning to travel to Cuba and you're anything like me, I would bring Ziploc bags because you just don't, like, we're in an apartment, you just don't want to open the bathroom door and it just stink. Like, even if it's just, you're just like peeing, like, you don't want to smell that in the trash can. Like, just not something I wanted to do. So yeah, bring Ziploc bags. When you wipe, just put the tissue in the Ziploc bag and then throw it in the trash, or yeah, then throw it in the trash can. It's really disgusting. As far as transportation, you know, when you're like searching Cuba, like one of the biggest attractions, I guess, is the, you know, the old school cars. The old school cars are taxis, most of them. I believe all of them are, but most of them are taxis. And so because they're a tourist attraction as well as a taxi, it gets expensive. But for us, because it was 5 of us, it was easier to take the old school cars because they were 5-seaters. It would be 3 people in the front and 3 people in the back. So it's us plus the driver. And I want to say that it was 25 CUC, which is about $25. And it wasn't too bad for us at first because it was 5 of us, so we just, you know, all gave $5. And it was cool. And it doesn't really depend on where you're going. Like, you could be literally going up the street and it's $25. So for that purpose, I think it's expensive because it's all based on like, it's just people that's just like if somebody came to America and they like my car, I could just, you know, charge them whatever because it's my car. So the owners of these cars are just charging you whatever prices, and I guess the average is like $25, and they know that. So yeah, like I said, it's not dependent on distance, just depending on however much they want to charge you. What I recommend for transportation are the Coco taxis. I'll insert a picture of the Coco taxis. The Coco taxis, you can barter with them. I wouldn't pay more than $7 for a Coco taxi if it's 3 people. The only thing with the Coco taxis is it's not like a car. So it's like a little egg almost. Like, so if it's raining and the rain is like, you know, blowing in your direction, you're gonna get wet. And like I said, I don't know if it just rained a lot while we were there, but it was raining, so. But we didn't have any problem with the Coco taxis. We found this restaurant. It was kind of a restaurant slash hookah bar. Like, there was a place to eat downstairs, but like upstairs you could still order food, but they also had hookah. So we went there and it was really chill. We ended up going there twice, once during the day, the next day to eat, but at night, that same night we went to O'Reilly 304. We just wanted to, you know, just fill out the area and, you know, talk to some locals. We ended up meeting another family that was traveling there. I want to say he said the guy and his wife lived in New Zealand. So it was real cool there. We ended up teaching his wife I don't know if they were married, but whatever. We ended up teaching his wife how to smoke hookah, and they were like an older couple too, like 50s maybe. So yeah, that was cool. They had good drinks. They played, you know, American music. They played a mixture of like all kinds of music, but they did play some American music. And so it was cool. They had good food. They had Wi-Fi, and yeah. So I don't know how to say the name of the place, but I took a picture of the menu, so I will post it. One of my favorite places in Cuba was this flea market we went to. It was near the train museum. We didn't get the name of it. We actually were just in a taxi trying to find somewhere to go and to buy souvenirs. And the taxi driver recommended this flea market, and it was dope. First of all, I just love shopping for souvenirs anyway. But this particular flea market had a lot of art, and I really loved buying art pieces and paintings especially. They had paintings. They had so many paintings. I'm definitely gonna add the video or I have a lot of videos of the paintings on my phone. I took a lot of pictures of the paintings because they were just so beautiful. And it was like art that I had never seen before. There was an artist. His first name is Carlos. I am not gonna miss his last name. I'll post it in the description box if you want to look him up. But his work is amazing. I can talk about art all day. This is about Cuba. So yeah, the art market, or I call it the art market, but it was a flea market near the train museum. If you're interested in going, I recommend it. They have souvenirs galore. So yeah. While we were there, actually, one of the vendors, like the little shops inside the flea market, my friend had on like these Forever 21 earrings, and I want to say she said they were like only $6, but because the Cuban people are like so interested in like American things, the lady, when she got in there, she was like, "Oh my God, I love your earrings. You can have whatever you want in the store if you give me your earrings." So they're barter country. So I mean, if you want to cause you know we are as Americans, we go to Cuba, and most of the people cause you have to have a reason to go. You can't just go for leisure travel, obviously. So if it's support for Cuban people, support your Cuban people and bring them stuff because they like American stuff. We found out that once a month, towards the end of the month, I'm not sure if it's the same day every month, but it was around, we went from like the 21st through the 25th or something like that. So in between those days, one of the days we were there, the cigars are half price. We ended up following this guy. This sounds so bad. We met a local. His name was Julio. He was really friendly. He was telling us like things to do and places to go buy like cigars or whatever. And apparently there's like this, like the way it was made out to be to us was like, it's this place where you go, you can buy cigars all day, this one day, and it's gonna be so packed and it's official and all of this and all of that. So I was like, well, my friend wanted to bring back cigars for her dad, and if they have price, you know, take us there and we'll buy cigars and, you know, everybody be happy. So he had a crush on my friend, so he ended up walking with us there, and it was just somebody's house. But the way he was describing it was like it was gonna be like a factory, and that's just what I took from it. But maybe, I don't know, it was lost in translation, like the language barrier maybe. I'm not sure, but he spoke pretty good English. But anyway, it ended up being someone's house, and it wasn't like sketchy just because it was Cuba. And the next day my mom ended up going to somebody else's house to buy the cigars, so it was, I guess that's where you buy the cigars. I'm not sure, honestly. I don't buy cigars. But there is like shops that you can buy cigars from. However, this day, this sale was going on, so my friend went to buy the cigars from this place. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is not only to tell you that like once a month you do have to research, find out what day it is if you want to buy the cigars you travel during this time so that you can save some money. But the second part is I wanted to talk about how small the homes are. Like, and it was being in, you know, less fortunate countries anyways, always a humbling experience, and it makes you just appreciate how like blessed and how much stuff you take for granted. But when I tell you I have never been so grateful when I saw this home, like it was really, really small, and it not only was it small, it was kind of like taking a step back into like a different time, because they're like not up to date, like they don't have the technology we have, obviously, and it was kind of like the 90s basically. And you know, at the time it was 2018, it was just really a humbling experience. They had like a really small TV, like the box TV. The room wasn't big enough for like the living room we were in. It wasn't big enough for like big couches. Like it was just so small, and I don't remember if I took a picture of what one looks like from the outside, but their homes are so small. It's crazy that like in America we have all of these big, like, you know, luxurious things, and like how much we take for granted basically. Nightlife in Cuba. So because we got a chance to talk to Julio that I mentioned before, he was telling us about like places to go at night, because we wanted to hear, you know, we wanted to see how they party, and we wanted to do salsa. We wanted to go somewhere where they had salsa dancing. For my mom, it was on her birthday that we were gonna go, and we wanted to just party with people our age. So he was telling us about this place called Fantasy. Now, in America or anywhere else in the world that I've traveled, I never go anywhere that you have to pay a cover charge to get in. But he was telling us that Fantasy was like, you're gonna love it. It's like this big, you know, club. Like everybody go there. Like it's great or whatever. So I just didn't want to pay. I think the cover charge was 20 cc. And we ended up going. Basically, like a long story short, we ended up going, and we liked it. They played Latin hip hop. They played American hip hop. The only thing that I thought was weird about the place was they had like the full bar and everything. It was cool. It was kind of like an American club, but in, you know, Cuba. So it was like same like setup. It all looked the same. It was really like you know, up to date. It wasn't like old or like dingy looking or anything. I'm not saying that the rest of Cuba was, but yeah, it was nice. But it was weird because you can't like take pictures or videos. So I was like recording, so that for the purpose of this video, I was recording just so like you could see like how it looks and like how they party and stuff. But there was a security guard that like came over to me like 2 seconds in my clip. I might still have the clip, actually. I might try to post it if I have it. But he told me to put my phone down. When we were leaving Fantasy, we got a taxi. It probably was like 4 in the morning, maybe 3 or 4 in the morning. We got our taxi, and we were on the way back to the apartment, and the taxi driver, I guess, was speeding. I don't know if he was really going all that fast. Maybe he was going like a little bit over the speed limit. Well, we got stopped by the cops. And the way, first of all, getting stopped by the cops in Cuba is a completely different experience than getting stopped by the cops in America. The way that he was like, there was no cop that got behind us in the car and like turned on their lights. Literally the guy was driving, the taxi driver was driving, and on the side of the road there was a cop, and he like waved him down. He had a clipboard in his hand, waved him down. The taxi driver pulled past him, stopped, got out of the car, and so we all looking like, wait, like, how does that work? Like, he got out of the car and went over to the police, and the police, I guess he talked to him for a little bit. He came back and got in the car, and he was like, we all good? And we were like, what happened? Did you get a ticket? And he was like, no, I just gave him money, and he let me go. And we were like, how much money did you give him? He was like, $10. They don't care about giving you tickets. They only stop you so that they can get money. So we was like, what? In America, you can't do that. So we started explaining to the taxi driver, like, in America, like, if you get stopped by the cops, first of all, you can't get out the car and just walk over to them. Like, so in Cuba, they have what I call a seawall, and I'll post a picture and a video of what that looks like. And it's like miles and miles and miles long. And at night, every night that we were there, people were like lined up, just sitting there on the seawall, just talking and drinking and, you know, just vibing out. And I thought that that was so dope. And we just walked on the seawall, and like the people are so like friendly and welcoming for the most part. Mostly the guys. The girls kind of like, some of them gave us like, you know, the stank eye, I guess, because I don't know, the guys were talking to us. I'm not sure really. All right, so when you are departing from Cuba, I know I talked about the visa earlier. Make sure you keep your visa out when you are returning to America or wherever it is you're flying back to, because you're gonna need it at the airport when you are checking in. And they get so mad when you don't have it. Like, I didn't know that I needed it because I'm returning to the country that I am a citizen in. So I didn't think that I would need it to return to the U.S. But I was wrong. So my mom didn't have hers, and the girl that was like checking for it would like let it be known that she had the biggest attitude ever. Like, she was big mad. Like, she rolled her eyes. She was like huffing and puffing. So yeah, make sure you keep it out. Yeah, that was my experience in Cuba. Just a few details to make a long story short, because I could like days about Cuba. Cuba was amazing. Cuba owes me nothing. It was beautiful. If this travel ban ever gets lifted, I suggest everybody go to Cuba and, you know, have a good time. So thank you guys for watching this video. Feel free to comment below if you have any tips or advice, recommendations, anything you want to say about Cuba. If you want to correct me on something, because I might not have been right about everything, or anything you just want to add, feel free to comment below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.